What up, what up? Happy September 22nd, 2021. So I gotta get back on that Norm MacDonald video I did yesterday on the 21st because everything just went sideways when I turned the mic on. It wasn't even when I turned the mic, when I turned the live on, Facebook sent me some notification about I was spamming or something. I don't know what was going on. That just sent me sideways. I said in the video, but I want to go ahead and do that because I touched on a lot of things. But I left the video up because I think I pulled it out, and I think I actually did a good job because I kind of went to it with like kind of a Norm Macdonald vibe, where sometimes Norm goes, and especially with that joke I was doing, I'm gonna touch on it and explain it. But I wanted to finish the joke with giving him the joke, giving him the punchline, and I think I did that when I just was like laughing, and I just said should have dug a deeper ditch. And if you know the joke, you laughed. If you didn't, you got to research the joke. And that's what I wanted to end on. So I think I started rough, but I finished strong, I think. And I liked it because I watched it 3 times this morning and I said, you know what? Post the damn thing, man. It was pretty funny. It was entertaining. But I did get tripped up and I admitted it because I was like, what's going on? And they didn't even give me a reason. And I think what happened, I probably said a trigger word or whatever, because I know that I feel like they just standing over me with a red button. So I got my red on today. They just over me with a red button, and they just want to hit the button because I don't. Hey, when it comes to the war of 2020, the war of the whispers, and with everything we're going through, when they say, "What the hell did you do, Mikey?" I be like, I busted up these comment rooms. I called out BLM. Do you know how many live streams I was on? I saw Kyle Rittenhouse before he got shot live. I saw the other dude. He was on Elijah Schaefer. He was pulling the gun out. I can't remember. I think it was in Georgia or whatever. I saw him doing the interview live. I was on these pig wars. I was on all kinds of lives, man. I saw Washington get torn up. And the one thing I kept seeing, and like I said last night, was these LARPing people, live action role playing. And how do they program these people? These were gamers. These were people with Cheeto fingers. These were Mountain Dew. These were out of shape, skinny, mostly white people. Every now and then you get some hood people come out and steal some shoes. But for the most part, when I really saw the videos, these were not warriors. These were young, brainwashed people. All right. And then I got into it last night a little bit about all this stuff. And it was so funny because last night I told myself, all right, let's back off of politics because I could see the change coming, and I know it's coming. I know it's coming. I've been pulling this card. It's been coming up. I've been telling you the boomerang is coming back around on them, and I pulled this in the Hollywood is Dead. Let's do a Seth Rogen card reading, and that means it's coming back on them. They're gonna start eating themselves, and that's what's happening. That's what's happening right now. You see it all over the place. Oh my goodness. They are just, I said this, once they figure out that they're going to get ratings and clicks because going after Psaki, and now you're starting to see it. She is getting, look at, isn't that funny? It's a girl right there. That's a girl right there. Psaki, good luck with that. So I saw that, and when I saw it with the Seth Rogen Hollywood's Dead card reading, I said, yep, it is. And I knew I was right. That's how it works. So that threw me off last night. But with that being said, I told myself, and it was so funny because I said, hey, chill out with the politics. Oh, and I did watch this is another thing that I know that they're turning on themselves because I watched a very good show today. Dan Bongino, 9/22/2021 on Rumble. And Dan breaks it down. This is what I'm going to do from now. I'm not getting into the politics, but I will give you some information to go search for yourself. You're going to have to go look it up for yourself. And he's on all the major platforms, but I would look him up on Rumble. And he did a very good show today where he was talking about the laptop from hell. And that's all I want to talk about that. And how the mainstream media is starting to release it now, now that they think that they've won the political battle, and how it was so ironic yesterday that I thought I got deleted because I'm like, yo, I'm kind of out of the ring of the political things where I really want to talk about that. I'll give you some people and some posts to go look at, but I don't really want to touch on all that. As far as medical stuff, I don't even know about all that because I'm not a doctor, so I'm not even going to go there all the time, But yeah, I did all that. And that's why I said my track record stands because I commented so much. I was on live streams, man, just watching all kinds of riots and madness over 2020. And I just saw it. That's why I was talking about this LARPing, this live action role playing. And then I saw these little punks. Can you imagine me being a bartender for 14 years and just being able to look and just scan like these people's faces real quick and being a psychic? It was just like I was just reading their brains, and I'm like, these people are nothing. These are the scum of the earth. These are these little wanksters. These aren't troops. These aren't people I'd want in an army. These are people that live with their parents. They've been programmed, and now you see it. Now we see the indoctrination camps that are our campuses, and all the information is coming out. All right. But with that being said, I want to go into the whole thing about Norm Macdonald, and this is why I thought it was very important, because his joke. Now I'm going to explain his joke. I didn't want to explain his joke. I kind of went into his joke, but I didn't really want to explain it because at the end I wanted to give him the because it was his dagger that I threw from his grave, and I wanted to give him the punchline. So I said, "Dig a deeper ditch." If you know the joke, you get it. If you don't, you got to research it. So he has a stand up that he did. Okay, I'm gonna explain it right now. Right, he has a stand up that he did, and he gets into it. And you got to remember, Norm Macdonald also did the SNL Saturday Night like news thing for a few years, and that's how he really blew up, because he has this kind of sense of humor that you kind of don't get at first, but you'll get it, and you'll start to get it when you, like the same thing with that video I posted last night when I threw the dagger from his grave. You'll start to see I kind of have the same eccentric sense of humor, where it's kind of like, and actually at some point I'm like, yeah, Facebook probably deleted me because sometimes I can't help it. I just say things and I don't think about it. It's like I was watching him on a lot of Conan O'Brien interviews, and also The View, and he just says things, and sometimes he can't help it. He just says it, and you're like, "Whoa, did you just say that?" Yeah, and I'm the same way. Like when I thought they deleted me, I was like, "What the hell did I say now?" Because I could just see me and Norm Macdonald, because his whole punchline in the joke was kind of like, uh, these. Let me. I'm gonna start from the beginning, okay? So basically, the joke is, he's like, back in the day, they used to do about a half an hour of the news, and that's all you really need in the news. But then it became 24-hour news, right? And then they had to figure out how to like grab your attention. And this is back, I don't know, he did this 8, 9, 10 years ago. We're in 2021. I don't know when he did it, but I saw it a long time ago, right? Because I'm a Norm Macdonald fan. And he's like, then they did the 24-hour news. And this is why I kind of like my video that I did last night when I threw the dagger, because sometimes you don't know where he's going, and then he ends up. And then at the end of my video, I did the same thing, and I was like, oh, I got tripped up, but I ended up finishing strong. But anyway, so he's like, so now they got 24-hour news, and for some reason I watched the news. Of course you watch the news, because he used to be the SNL news guy, so he had to watch the news regardless, because he had to come up on every Saturday night and do it. So he likes to play stupid, but he had to watch the news, because he had to pick what he wanted to do on the Saturday Night Live thing, right? So he actually is an intelligent guy. So he's going through it, and he just starts going, well, I started to notice that every now and then they come up with this story where the girl's missing, and you're like, oh, the girl's missing, I don't really know her. But then they start showing you photos of the girl and her eating pizza, and her family members come out and they start telling you that she's a star of the show, and you could be talking, and he goes into it. You got to look it up, man. It's very funny. And then by the end of it, he can't think of anything else. His life is consumed. And then in the video that I posted last night, the dagger from the grave of Norm Macdonald, I tell you where I actually was hanging out, and I tell you my situation where I was at in my brain, and I was on cloud 9. I roll into work, and I'm in a lobby bar, so I have to set up, and there's nowhere I can hide. I try to keep the TVs off, right? And I'm trying to just set up, and this guy comes up to me, and he's like picking my brain, because I'm like the bartender, and I'm supposed to know everything, and I'm just trying to, like, I'm annoyed, just trying to set up kind of, but I still have to appease the customer. And he's like picking my brain. He's upset because I'm not on his wavelength, right? I'm not on his wavelength. Like, I don't know what's going on. I've been in literally Mexico banging out my hot ass girlfriend for the last 2 days on cloud 9. And this dude is like, why is this bartender doesn't know that the girl is missing, and he hasn't gotten any of the, no, I haven't gotten anything, dude. I've been off. I've turned my phone off. I've been gone for 2 days. You don't even know. And so at one point he's like physically aggressively mad at me, and like I have to wake up and be like, oh shit, this guy is like about to attack me. So I grab the remote control, and I'm like, hey man, I apologize, because I'm very smart and I know people, and I just was caught off guard. I'm just trying to like set up the bar, and I'm like, hey sir, can you go ahead and just put the news on? And I give him the remote for the TV, because the TV was off, because I try to keep it off so I don't attract people. And then he turns the TV on, to the news, and then I start paying attention. That got his attention off me, because he was mad. He was like, this guy doesn't know what's going on, but the girls in the canyon, they're looking. And then all of a sudden it was that same joke that Norm said. He goes, man, the girl ended up missing. And then every time they end up in the woods of the canyon, they always find them in a shallow grave. And then he goes, man, I don't know why these serial killers never think this is a sick joke. All right. And this is why this is my sense of humor. But it would be like if me and Norm showed up to the scene and we had to be detectives or ambulance people, we'd be like, why didn't they just? I could just see it. I could be like, either me or Norm would look at each other and be like, why didn't they just dig a deeper hole? We probably never would have found her, but they just get so lazy. And that was his joke, and it's so twisted and messed up that actually what Facebook did, I thought they deleted me. I was like, oh man, what did I say now? Because I'm like Norm sometimes. I just say stuff like, because I could see Norm looking at me like, man, you imagine if they just learned how to dig a deeper hole? I'd be like, yeah, man, we'd probably never find these people. We just look at each other. Who knows where that conversation would go? It's sick and morbid, I know, but but, but we would never do it. But I would just that's how I look at the thing. They got you got all this. Oh my God, the girl, she ate pizza with her aunt on Thursdays and everything, and she's in the canyon. Ah. So here's a story that this guy who was the SNL nightly news or whatever he was for SNL, the news guy, like for many years, got very famous. He's given this stand up 10 years ago or whatever. And then I'm literally like going into work, and I'm on cloud nine, and then I'm standing there looking like, is this like the Truman Show? Is this, where's Ashton Kutcher? Am I getting punked? Is this really happening? And I'm literally thinking in my brain at the moment, like, I'm literally living in Norm Macdonald's comic. I'm thinking about that the whole time. And at the same time, I'm like, well, I can't be mean to this guy. He's a guest, or who knows who he is. I just have to be nice. I'm at work. And and believe me, oh, you think I'm stupid? Dude, I started questioning him, and I was like, look at this. Look at me. You want to look at me? You think I'm stupid? I'm like, did they find her yet? I don't know. I don't know nothing. But I'm like, hey, man, did they find her? I don't know, man. They say they're looking in the canyon right over here. And I'm like, oh, my God. The Hollywood Canyon over here? That's right over here in Balboa Park. Oh, my God, I know that area. Oh, there's a lot of things. It's a little tricky over there. And who knows? My brother played Pop Warner football over there, but I don't know. And then, I don't know, it took an hour or whatever. And they found her. Shallow grave. 3 leaves and a twig on her. Yep. And dude was dejected. He was all heartbroken. He looked at me. He didn't do a shot or nothing. He just left. I was like, man, I wasted all the energy. I didn't even sell him a drink. But whatever. He just left. He wasn't even staying at the hotel. He just pulled over, saw a hotel, figured we had a TV. That's why I think he came at me so hard. He came at me hard. I'm just like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. Can you imagine? I'm just trying to set up the bar. He's like, you don't know about the girl, and all he wanted was a remote control, dude. I'm like, dude, you could have just asked me for the remote, and I would have just gave it to you. It's fun. I had to figure that out, though. I had to figure that out. And that's why I was talking about the manipulation of society. And now those are major, major, major important things. And that's why I had to throw the dagger from Norm Macdonald. Now you're going to understand it and see it. Because Norm said this like 10 years ago. I lived it, and I gave you a short story. And then I had to throw the joke back on Norm, because thank you, Norm, for seeing that and exposing that, because I would have not really understand that situation. But because Norm Macdonald actually put that on a stand-up, I can relay it back to Norm, to me, my experience that day, and then give it to you now. Let's fast forward to September 2021, where they just gave it to you with this girl, the same story. She's we don't know where she's at. They've got you all crazy, and then now you can see the manipulation of society. All right, you see it now. See it? You see it. With that being said, I touched on Elon a little bit, and I'm not really an Elon hater. I used to be an Elon guy, but at this, yeah, I had a song. I think it was called Elon Must I Trust. But at this point, I had to kind of question him, and I really had to question him. Let's go to SNL again. When they put him up there, and they're like, "I'm the wild card," and he just said it so awkward. I'm like, Elon, you ain't the wild card, but maybe he is. Now he's all about the solar. He's all about this, and that, electric cars, and I'm getting over all this electric uh, automated or just mechanic stuff that they want to do, take over our grocery stores and all that. And I said this in my last video. Yo, you guys don't remember what it's like to have your freaking groceries taken care of, bagged, and then the person that bagged your groceries is like, "Do you need help to the car?" And then you give them a buck or whatever, and they're so happy, and it's just great. You have no idea what it's like to just pull into the gas station, and the guy checks your gas, asks if you want me to check your air. Hey, do you want me to check the oil? Do you want me to wash your windows? You have no idea in America. You have no. I'm talking to Americans. You have no idea, because in foreign countries that's normal. You almost take it for granted. No, in America it's like you do it all by yourself. You know, you got to get the gas and do everything. I'll take that. And then when I really had to question Elon was when I saw his little girlfriend right now, Grimes or whatever. It looked like they left her alone in a room with a ballpoint pen and a phone with TikTok. And then after she painted herself with the ballpoint pen, she had these circles and everything. She went on TikTok with her list and was like, I think, guys, that communism is something that we just really have to think about. And I'm like, what in the hell is this? What you putting Elon? You hitting that, homie? You what is all the women in this world? You worth all that money and you hitting that? I think looking like a 3-year-old, looking like a 4-year-old left in a room too long with the phone and TikTok. Like, is this an experiment? Is this a joke? And that's when I was like, all right, we need to keep an eye on Elon, because I don't know about this dude sending all them rockets up, trying to make all these robots and putting a chip in my brain. Yeah, let's keep an eye on his ass with these solar projects that all fail. They're like, yes, we're gonna go solar. Everything's gonna be solar. And then, oh, I forgot to say this. This is the moment I knew that electric cars weren't nothing, because this dude films this video. I don't know what it was on. It was on YouTube or Facebook or whatever, but he helps this dude get gas, right? And he takes it back to his Tesla. This dude's just like, what are you doing with the gas? You got a Tesla, right? And he's like, no, but I need the gas. And then he pours it into a generator and then plugs it into his car. And I was like, oh, damn it. Tesla's just an iPhone with wheels. It's just Microsoft with a virus. Isn't it so funny that Gates is behind all this shenanigans? Yeah. So you can see it now, but that's as far as I'm going to go with that. Oh, I want to get into climate change. I talked about Al Gore, and then I shut it down because I was like, Al Gore started all this climate change. He didn't start it. It's been going on, but he started all this. Oh my God. So look into it. He came out with this video in the after he lost the election, because of the hanging chads in Florida, where Jeb Bush was the governor. Al Gore comes out and was like, climate change, because he was angry at the world. He had to go like grow a beard and walk up a mountain, Mount Rainier in Washington, and he just lost it because he lost, he knew. But he came out with this climate change video. Oh, I spilled some soda. Shit. Anyways, so he came out with this climate change video, and this is when he started saying, by now, California is underwater. Everything's done. What I want you to do is go, especially if you live in San Diego, go look at the pier. Go look at the Ocean Beach Pier. Has that water come up one iota? No, it hasn't. And I'm 42 years old. It hasn't not one. Every now and then. So just stop. Just stop. Just stop. Stop. Go look at the video. Like I said, we got it all recorded. Go look at it. Al Gore. The temperature's rising. He had his professor. He sounded so cool. Everything happened. No. Stop. And then what do you have? AOC 12 years, guys. We got 12 years. 12 years. 12 years. Shut your ass up, AOC. Go and give me a damn, give me a beer. Don't make me a drink. Give me a beer. And keep the cap on it, by the way. I'll pop the damn cap. Give me a Bud Light bottle. And keep the cap on it with your dumb ass. Probably don't even know how to pop a bottle. Anyways. This is what's really happening. Their cycle, they want us in a cycle all the time with this confusion. This, you can see it now. It's like Groundhog's Day, and they keep doing it with, okay, it's Al Gore. Okay, now it's your turn, AOC. It's like they keep lapping off, and you got to start waking up because they just keep throwing stuff at us. They keep throwing puppets at us, but it's breaking, and now we're waking up. And this is why I don't even really want to talk about too much politics and all this because I don't need to anymore. I could just refer you because it's all coming out. Even the mainstream media, if you watch the show today on Dan Bongino on Rumble, it's September 22nd, 2021. He just lays it out flat. How the mainstream media is starting to leak the information about that laptop from hell. With that being said, thank you, Norm MacDonald. Your stand-up inspired me to make 2 videos. And you were hilarious. That was so funny. It's a bad, I say it's a bad joke, but it's not a bad joke. It's just that's Norm. That's me. Sometimes I say things and they're like, "Did you just say that?" And I'm like, was I not supposed to say that? I'm not like a comic. Like, you're gonna start seeing the comic of me come out now because I can see we're at the point where the tide is changing. I've pulled this card multiple times and I've seen it now, and everything's boomeranging around, and they're done. And you can see it more and more where Psaki and the reporters, at some point, these reporters and CNN have to eat too. They have to save themselves too. And if they ain't getting the clicks, it's the proof is in the pudding. I've said this. It's instantaneous. Your likes, your views, your everything is instantaneous. If you ain't getting the clicks, you hitting the sticks. That's what it is. And at some point, these companies can't keep funding it. They're worth millions, but if these people keep pulling away, and we're creating a alternate universe, like I said, and I did that in my last card read on this card reading where they had the man and the woman standing on the little island kind of and looking up. That's us creating a new world. A parallel universe. We're breaking away. We're seeing it. It's a very powerful card. It was in the card reading for the Hollywood's Dead. Let's do a Seth Rogen reading because we're pulling away from Hollywood. I also flashed it in my I throw the dagger Norm MacDonald because we're pulling away. We are creating a parallel universe, a parallel world, whatever you want to call it, a dual world, parallel world, dual economy. It's happening. It's happening everywhere, and I can see it. All right? It's happening. So we got to wake up, wake as many people we can. At this point, this is why I said I'm not doing any more commenting because I've already beat up the comment boards for 2 years, and that's why Facebook is like over me, ready to tap the red button. But I'm like, I'm already done. I already did it. It's done. So now I don't need to talk about all that. I can refer you to this or this or that. But right now, I'm going to talk more about let's move forward and let's do this. All right? Because we're moving forward, all right? With that being said, thank you, Norm MacDonald. We shot the dagger. That dude cracks me up. Talk to you later. Peace out.